Hello and welcome back to the JaySea channel. I'm Jerry and we have a UU match today. This has not been my best match performance wise, but I thought I'd share it anyway because it turned out to be quite an interesting match nonetheless. So here you can see the last two giveaway winners from our previous two videos. They're on screen right now, so Elite Wolf 95 and Geroto Squid Cops. Be sure to check your YouTube inbox because I personally messaged you guys. So if you missed out on the last prize, there will be more giveaways coming up, including more information on one at the end of this video. And without further ado, let's get started. On the left of our screen, you can see our opponent is packing some huge threats. Raikou and Nidoking can both fire off thunderbolts and ice beams to hit every single member of our team for super effective damage. The only exception is Darmanitan, who we can identify as the main offensive threat to his team. So I do lead off with my Cloyster as sort of an unexpected surprise lead against his team, hoping to get a free Shell Smash against a potential Golbat lead or a Dugtrio. I opted for Shell Smash anyway, but in hindsight going for the Icicle Spear would have made the entire game play out completely different in favor of us in the long run. But seeing as we do stay in rather than switching out to take a super effective Thunderbolt hit on any of our team members, he does end up sacrificing his Dugtrio, who isn't much of a threat to our team. And just like clockwork, in comes the Metagross for the obvious Bullet Punch, but since Ice Shard is resisted and we can easily take a Bullet Punch, we're gonna just switch out into our Darmanitan and soak up that Bullet Punch and scare it out. And it's always good to preserve a Pokemon if you don't need it to die, especially in this case where we can preserve it later as death fodder or if it comes in handy in any situation. We do in fact scare out the Metagross and out comes the Golbat. And because nobody really appreciates a Flare Blitz on his team, two of these will do a clean 2-hit KO on the Golbat, which will be a bulky wall taken out this early in the game. So the Golbat goes down and his next poke is going to be the Empoleon. And because the Penguin is so fat, I know the Flare Blitz isn't going to take it out. And fearing the potential Scald, I do want to preserve my Darmanitan for the Raikou, which is a huge threat to our team. We do go out into our Togekiss, and in hindsight this was a bit too obvious of a play. I went for the super obvious Thunder Wave, which in hindsight I should have doubled back out into Darmanitan, predicting the Raikou, which would probably force the Empoleon back out as fodder to take 2 superpowers for an additional free kill. But like I said, not the best play there, and my opponent predicted correctly. And because of that play, we are forced to use up our Cloyster as death fodder on that turn, which will actually help us scout out which move his Raikou is choice locked into. Also at this point I'm not sure if he's running Scarf or Specs, so going into Darmanitan is just way too risky. Now the only Pokemon on our team that can take a Volt Switch without taking super effective damage is Trevenant. We're running a physically defensive Trevenant, and judging by that damage, the Raikou is probably running Specs, which means our Darmanitan will be able to outspeed it. And he's just going to use his Volt Switch to get Nidoking in, which is going to be an equally huge threat to our team. Literally nobody on our team can switch into a Nidoking right now. So it is now a matter of whittling down his team with mainly Leech Seed and Protect. Once again, unfortunately for us, our Trevenant is physically defensive, so there isn't much we can do. And since the store will not last, that Sludge Wave almost taking us out there, as we are going to eat the Citrus Berry and get our HP back with the Horn Leech and a Protect on the next turn. So we will actually be dishing out a considerable amount of damage onto the Nidoking, and once again just being forced to play extremely safe, we do go for the Protect, just really wanting to not really wanting to chance it. Unfortunately he does go into the Raikou, and in hindsight I completely forgot. I should have gone for another Protect to scout the HP Ice, then switch into either Darmanitan or Blastoise, because when you Protect and it fails, you can actually use it again. So this would have forced the Raikou out since he would have been locked into HP Ice and I would have gotten a big hit off one of his pokes. But it is what it is. And around this point is where I started to choke. We're just going to go straight into our Darmanitan and go for the Flare Blitz as he switches into his Empoleon to sacrifice it. The Flare Blitz is going to go off, and as predicted the Penguin is too fat and takes the hit. If I had my prediction shoes on and felt brave, definitely going for the superpower on the Raikou, predicting the switch, would have been the better play, as it would have preserved my Darmanitan in this case. Definitely should have seen it coming, seeing as he was locked into HP Ice, which had completely slipped my mind at that point in time while I was playing. So now the next best thing we can do is go into our Sharpedo, go for the revenge kill, get the speed boost, and try to take down one of his two massive threats he managed to preserve to the very end. He does opt to go into the Raikou, and since neither Waterfall or Crunch will take this thing out, and with no possible switch-ins to an electric type attack, the best thing we can do is go for the Destiny Bond. I actually do go for the Protect here to check what he locks himself into, as a Blastoise switch in for free would actually easily win me the game here. The match is down to the wire and anyone can emerge victorious at the moment, but it's just a matter of what he chooses, and unfortunately he does go for the Volt switch, which would easily one-shot a very frail Sharpedo. The Raikou is going to be taken out by the Destiny Bond, and unfortunately Togekiss is weak to both Metagross's Bullet Punch and Nidoking's Sludge Wave. So we are forced into the Blastoise, and what we can do is go for Dark Pulses to do super effective hits onto the Metagross. Going to get that late game Mega Evolution off and go for the Dark Pulse. The match is pretty much decided by luck at this point in time, as all moves are pretty much set in stone. We go for Dark Pulses as he goes for the Zen Headbutt and Bullet Punch. The only way we can come out on top is if we land a flinch with our first Dark Pulse. But unfortunately we won't be seeing such luck, as things do play out like a textbook. His Nidoking will be able to outspeed and take out the Blastoise from this range. So he does go for the Stab, Sheer Force and Life Orb boosted Sludge Wave, which will take us out. And now we are down to our last poke, Togekiss. If we do get one Air Slash off, we win the game. Nonetheless, this match has been completely down to the wire. Unfortunately, luck will not be on our side today, and he does get a high roll with his Sludge Wave damage, which will completely take out our Togekiss. Definitely not a good matchup for the Togekiss, as most of our opponent's team does counter it. That is it for this video. Definitely a very close and exciting match. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, and to win this video's giveaway, simply like, favorite, subscribe and answer the question of the day. Which underplayed Pokemon do you think has potential and should be featured in my next video? Remember to leave your build and item suggestion and write at the end of it #JaySea giveaways to be eligible. Winners will be chosen and contacted in 1 week's time. That is all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in our next video. Cheers.